Hello aspirants, welcome back to our channel Aspirant. So azir video to bahut basic important and all of lengthy hobo pare than the previous videos. So without making any delay, let's directly jump into the topic. So azir topic hol the art of note making. In our previous videos, bahute comment korise je apnar notes pam niki na hole apnar notes bono strategy kobo paribo niki. So then I thought let's make a complete video covering all the details about note making. So let's start the video. So first আমি জানিব লাগিব why notes ইমান কিয় important and why not directly from the textbook or standard book like we study for prelims. Notes সেইকাৰণে important হয় কিউকি আমি মেন্সত যে লিখিম সেইটো টাইম বাউণ্ড হ'ব for 150 words আমি hardly 6 or 7 minutes পাম and maybe less than that. So আমি ফ'কাছ কৰিব লাগিব এইখিনি স্পেচিফিক টাইমত আমি নিজৰ যিখিনি লাৰ্ণিং আছে এইখিনি কনচাইজ এণ্ড ক্ৰিস্প মেনাৰত কেনেকৈ ডেলিভাৰ কৰিব পাৰিম বিকজ দিছ টু ফেক্টৰ্ছ উইল ডিটাৰমাইন দ্য কোৱালিটি অফ ইয়ৰ এটেম্পট ইন মেইনছ চ' আমাৰ জাৰ্ণিৰ মেইন গেম হ'ল মেইনছ আৰু মেইনছৰ এটা লাষ্টিং ইম্পেক্ট ক্ৰিয়েট কৰিবৰ কাৰণে আমাৰ ষ্ট্ৰেটেজি এণ্ড আমাৰ এটেম্পট শুড বি ভেৰি ৰ' এণ্ড প্ৰেক্টিকেল চ' সেইকাৰণে আমাৰ নোটছটো বহুত দৰকাৰ চ' আমি টেক্সট বুক পঢ়োঁ টেক্সট বুকত কি থাকে টেক্সট বুক builds your foundation. It cannot directly help you to write in mains. It might help for some questions, but you will not be able to complete the paper. So, our weapon ki hol? Our weapon and tool is our notes. Isn't it? Textbook creates your foundation and mains is, your notes is your weapon for mains. This journey itself is completely different because it never judges us based on our accumulation of knowledge. কিছুমানৰ বেছি থাকিব পাৰে কিছুমানৰ কমো থাকিব পাৰে বাট ইট উইল জাজ আছ বেষ্ট অন আৱাৰ এটেম্পট ইন মেইনছ বিকজ আমি যেতিয়া 3 hours পিৰিয়ডত যদি ৰিকল কৰিব নোৱাৰোঁ বাট আমি বহুত জানো ষ্টিল ডেট উইল নট ৱৰ্ক আৱাৰ গল উইল নট বি ফুলফিল চ' সেইটোৱে মেইন থিং ইজ ৰিকল চ' বাই নোটছ উই কেন ৰিকল নেক্সট ইজ আৱাৰ চিলেবাছ বহুত বাল্কি হয় এণ্ড আমি ইটছ এণ্ড এভৰিথিং পঢ়িব নালাগে উই জাষ্ট নিড টু ফিল্টাৰ আউট চাম ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট কনচেপ্টছ এণ্ড উই নিড টু ৰিভাইজ ডেট চ' হোৱাট ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট ইজ ডেট ফিল্টাৰিং এণ্ড ৰিভাইজ এণ্ড অলছ' ওৱান মোৰ থিং মেইনছত কুৱেশ্যন মষ্ট অফ দ্য টাইম ডিৰেক্টলি নাহে এণ্ড ইট কামছ উইথ লিংকিং অফ ভেৰিয়াছ টপিকছ চ' notes help us to integrate various topics like for example topic from GS paper 1 and topic from GS paper 2 linking with current affairs. That type of linkage is very important for mains. So let's start the approach of note making. Approach, we have 3 approaches. So first of all I want to say one more thing like this is my approach and it might not be applicable for everyone. So যাৰ ভাল লাগে ফ'ল' কৰিলে হ'ল আৰু ভাল নালাগিলে আপুনি নিজৰ এপ্ৰ'চ ফ'ল' কৰক এণ্ড দিছ উইল বি মাছ বেটাৰ চ' ফাৰ্ষ্টলি 1 pager notes and then dimensional notes. Lastly, the most important, linkage notes. And all these types of notes can be complete in 1 to 3 pages. This is 1 pager notes itself will be completed in 1 page. Dimensional notes might be little longer than 1 pager notes, but it will connect every dots and dimensions of the particular topic. And linkage notes will connect various topics to make a one concise notes and will also connect current affairs. So let's start. So the most important sources I think according to my strategy is standard books and for that reason মই ইয়াতে লক্ষ্মীকান থৈ দিছোঁ and please ignore the condition of my লক্ষ্মীকান it's very rare and worst এতিয়া আমি যিকোনো এটা টপিক ল'ম and then based on that topic we'll make notes. So yeah, let's take parliamentary committees. Parliamentary committees. So firstly এতিয়া আমি parliamentary committees chapter 2 lai lo. Intro and conclusion will be covered later. Okay, it will be covered later. Now we don't need to see this from the standard books. First we'll make notes for body part. So at least 2 bar 3 bar to Lakshmikan porhise sage, to at least gom pabo lage je meaning is not important for mains. So you can ignore the whole part. You can ignore the whole part. Classification is also not important for mains. So you can ignore the whole part. This is how we go through the Lakshmikan while making notes. And ad hoc committees, this is also not important for mains. Directly you can ignore the topic. What is important is that financial committee. So you can now write public accounts committee in the site. Public account committee. Firstly, we will just go through the topic and we'll pick what we required and what no, we don't need. So we picked one topic, public account committee. So the whole thing will become under the public account committee. Secondly, estimates committee. This is also important. And thirdly, committee on public undertakings, CPU. And departmental standing committee is not that important, but you can check it. So here are some procedures. The following procedures will be followed by each of the standing committee. This is not important. And committees to inquiry, petitions. This is also not that important. Committees to scrutinize and control, not important, not important. Housekeeping committee, not important. Okay, so mains or karne amar main points hol etia public account committee. So ekhine ami side ot rakhilu. So now we need to analyze the topic. Topic is parliamentary committee, and hetu eta committee hoy jar eta nijor function ase, nijor advantage ase. So mains or karne ki type of bostu important, like mains or karne important hobo advantages of parliamentary committee. So in keywords I'm writing advantages here itself for now. And next will be their functions. Advantages mane what is good in them. And functions what they do. And next, they might also lack some qualities. So we need also to write weaknesses or challenges. Okay. And lastly, there might also various reports, committees, or anything that say something about the betterment of this parliamentary committee. So we also need that for mains. That is called recommendations. We can add these types: public account committee, estimates committee, and committee of public undertakings. Lastly, what is your opinion, or how can we make parliamentary committees better? That is measures. So parliamentary committee karne amar ikhiniya notes lage, and more than that we don't need anything. And yeah, heiber committee, public account committee, estimates committee, sobore nijor specific functions thake. So specific functions, this will also be important. Now the main thing is that ami heading already pai golu, ami notes ot ki add korim. Etia ami let's start to make notes. Hetu hol amar A4 size paper. Keep little space for introduction, and you can write in small handwriting so that it will cover more notes. Let me show in bigger picture. So ami introduction or karne olopman space erilu, and then ami at likhim advantages. Wait a minute. Advantages. So amar advantages karne jikhini points lage ekhini apuni add kori diok. And then our functions or karne jikhini lage yate add kori diok shortly, and I will show you how to write in short manner from my notes. Tar pisot apuni sobore eneka ke notes banai lob. weakness, functions already written, recommendations, sovereign kano, lastly ahibo measures. So it hardly 2 pages hoi jabo ekhini. So here is my notes for parliamentary committees. First point of under advantages is effective deliberations. That is, committees are smaller bodies, therefore it creates better efficiency. Efficiency than whom? Parliament. Because parliament jetia bills discuss hoy, they are morely referred to parliamentary committees, and the committees decides and whatever they need to. So therefore committees are technical and domain expertise, stakeholders participation, and inadequate parliamentary sittings. Parliament our sitting bahut kom hoy, 67 days per year, and enekot data bur add korile bahut important hoy, bahut mane bhal lage notes to. And then in representation of multiple political parties and not telecast, so better debate. So haibur eneka type likhibo lage advantages shortly aro hai mensot, but eneko nilikhele besi better hoy examot olopman. Effective deliberation, that is balke bujai kene committees are smaller bodies, therefore it creates better efficiency than parliament. Enka dikene for example enka eta dibo pare নহলে recommendations dibo pare. So next is functions. So for functions, for especially parliamentary public account committees or karne, scrutinize report of CSG enka type short hetu apuni direct yate pai jabo Lakshmikant public account committee functions ase na, to hetu point 1 point 2 hetu short kori kene direct likha jay, hetu moi short kori kene hetu likhi disu directly. Aru tare public account committees are positive and negative ase, so advantages and disadvantages, or advantages and weakness. So yate ase, however its effectiveness of the role of the committee is limited by the following. Limited, that means challenges ase even in the working of the in functioning of the public account committee. So we need to write that, and this point is also important for mains. So lastly, critical evaluation of the committee eneko type, and then recommendations. Dinesh Goswami committee, national committee to review the working of constitution enka type. Dinesh Goswami committee koisile ki mandatory referral of the bills. For example, if any bill is discussed in the parliament, so they need to refer the bill to parliamentary committees for better scrutinization. So hetu mandatory kori disile Dinesh Goswami committee in 1990 kori disile, mane recommend korisile, but implement hoise na hona etu beleg kotha. So enekoi bahut recommendations add kori lobo notes. So that's enough. So ekhini jodi sob add kore hardly amar 2 pages naiba 2.5 pages complete hobo, including intro and conclusion. Intro and conclusion you can add it by your own from either ChatGPT or any Google or websites. So aru intro eta naiba duitai likhibo, juntu best suit kore, eta data related likhibo and eta technical introduction likhibo. For example, like according to World Bank, this and that. So this types of introduction is called technical introduction. So this is for parliamentary committees, and your notes is done. Ami aru eta example sao juntu mane 1 pager notes or underote ahibo. Ami juntu korisilo hetu all 1 pager notes, and we will also check one more topic that will also come under 1 pager notes. So the topic we'll take is Supreme Court. Bahut eta important topic hoy for mains naiba judiciary. So now let's firstly collect the key points from the standard book or Lakshmikant. So Supreme Court, composition and appointment already ekhini monot thakiboy, and then prelims or karne composition and appointment bahut dorkar. So we will not cover extra for mains from that composition and appointment, but controversy and consultation is important for mains. So you can write here controversy and consultation for making notes. And then qualifications, oath and salaries, this is not important for mains. Then are a removal. Removal might be little important. So you can add removal or impeachment. And then aru ki ase? Acting, ad hoc and retired judges. This is not at all important. Retired judges, this type of thing is not important for mains. Seat and procedure, not important. Independence of the Supreme Court, yeah, it is important. Independence. Like, what are the factors that ensures the independent working of the Supreme Court? That's it. That is what the independence is. And most importantly, jurisdiction. This jurisdiction. And there are various types of jurisdiction: original, writ, appellate, advisory, court of record. So, ikhini sob ahiye jabo. In short, I will show you how to write it. And lastly, we need to focus these type of points: Indian Supreme Court and American Supreme Court. It is also very important. Indian versus American judiciary. So Supreme Court karne ikhini. So now let's break it down. Okay. Hetu ami olop dimensional notes e banai diu, nohole video bahut dikol hoi jabo. So dimensional notes. How to make dimensional notes? Firstly, the procedure is same for that also in the beginning. You collect all the details from the standard books and analyze the topic. So while analyzing the topic, we came through this point: first judge case, second judge case, third judge case. That means the whole point of this controversy and consultation is not objective, but it's subjective, and it comprises of some context. So that will be important for mains. Judge cases. All judge cases notes should be included in just 4 or 5 lines. And also, here you came to see that 99 Constitutional Amendment Act of 2014, or NJSC. So here you can connect NJSC. By that thing you will know what is NJSC and what was the essence of 99 Constitutional Amendment Act. So we covered 3 topics in just by reading this part, and everything is important for mains. So next, as we are already going to cover the removal, the independence, how to ensure independence, and what are the jurisdiction, for example, appellate jurisdiction, writ jurisdiction, and difference between Indian judiciary and American judiciary. So why independence? Why independence judiciary is necessary? Ami je koi asu, judiciary and judicial body should be independent and have the capability to work independently. But question ahibo pare, kyo? Why? Next is problems, challenges, or issues. It is not given directly in Lakshmikant, but this itself is a very important topic. So tar karone ami extra problems bahut likhibo paro in very short manner. Tate ahibo amar some of the problems like pending cases. Judiciary amak bahut pending cases ase, and women representation kom ase. So these types of topic is itself a broad topic. How? Keneka broad topic? Pending cases. For example, what is the impact of pending cases in democracy or in the working of the country? Tar pisot ami likhibo paru how to resolve, and then omenato ahibo why the representation is low in judiciary, why the representation of women is low in judiciary. Tar pisot ahibo pare how to ensure representation, especially for women. And next ahibo pare amar measures. I mean, judiciary is a iman problem hoy ase, how to improve. Tar underot eta point ahibo, and it is for sure All India Judicial Service or All India Judicial Commission. Hetu yate ami All India Judicial Commission or underote positive or negative আমি directly তাতে shortly লিখি দিব পাৰো, like in 3 or 4 lines. And what is our opinion or way forward in All India Judicial Commission? এনেকুৱা type. So এইটো এটা on এটা direct এটা topic হৈ গ'ল. We can also see, is there any mechanisms other than Supreme Court for resolving of cases? This alternate dispute resolution mechanisms. We can write here various points like tribunals, Arbitration and Conciliation Act, Lokpal, Gram Nyayalaya, and Nalsa. These types of points should also be covered in very not in 1 pages, like half pages. Episode ahibo conflict mane ki state thake high court or multiple state karone eta high court thakibo pare, but eta state karone eta high court thakibo pare. High court is different, Supreme Court is different. They make their laws independently, and there are also some laws that comes in conflict with Supreme Court law and High Court law. So these types of points are very nuanced and important for mains. So yate ahibo federal supremacy naiba harmonious construction in it means hey dutar law kenekwa eta conflict resolve kori coexistence anibo pare, that is harmonious construction. And federal supremacy itself means that Supreme Court law will override the High Court's law, and that's it. So hitu hol amar dimension notes. So enekwa jodi Supreme Court or ami bonaisu, then just think how many points will be covered here. We covered All India Judicial Commission, alternate dispute resolution. It itself a very vast topic. Tar under ahibo every topic with 1 page itself. We covered the problems, challenges. We covered measures, how to resolve the problem. We also covered why the judiciary is independent and why it is necessary. So after completion of this topic, I don't think there are left any topic to cover. Of course, eta duta thakibo hetu current affairs logot cover kora jabo bisor. So etia moi nijor notes dekhai asu. So judicial independence, how to ensure independence, and disputes regarding distribution of power. So yet NALSA, All India Judicial Service, and then alternate disputes mechanisms. Uske baad pending cases in judiciary, there are various datas and impact of pending cases, lok adalats. Uske baad differences, lok adalats, gram nyayalaya, tribunals, and NGT Act, judicial activism, and issues with judiciary. So way forward, and then judicial accountability, collegium system. So ikhini judiciary garni. So last topic is that linkage notes. This is very important. Kisuman amar bahut broad topic ase. For example, climate change. Tar notes to hobo amar neither 1 pager notes nohole dimension notes hobo pare, but more better will be linkage notes. How? Because climate change ot ami bahut ta bostu connect koribo pari. For example, we can connect climate change with environment. How climate change affects our environment, tare environment ot keitaman points ahi jabo. Next, we can connect climate change to geography, distributions of climatic conditions, etc. We can also connect to economy. Economy ahibo amar agriculture. How climate change impact agricultural and also products, or how it decreases our GDP. Climate change can also be connected with society. Society who are the most vulnerable when it comes to climate change. For example, women, children, disabilities, that type of things will be covered by the linkage of climate change and society topics. And also international relations. How Conference of Parties, COP Summit. Also, for example, there are various collaborations, International Solar Alliance. These types of will be covered through current affairs and international relations and climate change by connecting the three topics. So if you want, you can connect history, historical background of climate change, how it differs from the time of industrial revolution and now, and that's it. So here topic I mean linkage notes will go like you keep the heading climate change, you just go on writing international relations, this, and then society, this type of things, and then environment, and this, and every subtopic must include, for example, climate change and society. It should include way forward, it should include intro, conclusion, it should include effects, consequences, and every part will be for one page. This will one page. Then the whole climate change is complete. And climate change is not only a geographic topic or an environmental topic. These types of points is more important than the climate change. So let us see one more example. That is for women. For polity, we can see some points for economics, or from technology, from society, from new trending, and also from agriculture. So in polity, we will cover what are the laws, legislations, or any provisions related to budget for women, or how to prevent, or some these types of laws and legislations or recommendations. And for economy, we will cover their periodic labor force survey, or their workers' participation, or their contribution in GDP, these types of things. And for technology, we can cover digital crimes, deep facts, and role of women, or women's contribution in new technology, ISRO, contribution of women in ISRO. These types of things can be covered in technology. And society and patriarchal nature of Indian society. We can cover even the child marriages, or what's left, violence. Trending topic means for current affairs, what is going on in present days, and for agriculture, their contribution, and without the contribution of women, what will be the nature of Indian agriculture. These types of some nuanced and analytic points you should discover by yourself and note it down. And it is very sure that these types of hidden points will only appear in exam. And other than that, direct questions in today's days, it's not that common. Lastly, after making all these notes in a small page format, don't forget to add data facts from current affairs, or any judgments, cases, examples. In all the topics, you need to add these types of value-added materials. Then only your note will be complete. And also, there is short reminder just to make your notes better. Always use color pens while making notes or highlighters. Next is, short notes cannot be made directly at once. First, you need to make it little longer notes, and when you revise it again and again, then you can make it in short form just before 3 or 4 months of mains exam or after prelims. There is no shortcut in making short notes. You need to first make little bit longer, and next you need to shorten it out. So lastly, self-made notes is always more fruitful than making notes from your peers. So lastly, the approach. Firstly, you read textbook or any standard books, and that will enrich your concept clarity. And from that textbook, make notes. This will help for revision. Update current affairs to your notes. This will help in applicability. And lastly, while making all these things, make answer ready format, or modify your notes to answer ready format, and this will help to directly copy and paste in exam. And that's all. So that's it for today. See you in the next video. For next video, we will bring out some of the important strategies for prelims also. So stay tuned. Bye bye.